Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Polish ebook before it's gone.
25 Polish phrases. My name is Marzena. Let's start. So the first phrase is cześć. Cześć means hello in Polish. So when you meet your friend, you can say cześć, which would be like saying hello. But then again, you can use cześć to say bye as well. For example, when you meet your friend, you can say cześć, and then when you have to go back home, you can say cześć again. So this one is pretty useful. So our next phrase is dzień dobry. Dzień dobry means good morning in English, but actually what it literally means is dzień, which is a day, and dobry, which is good. So actually what you are saying is good day. That's why we can use it through the whole day, not only in the morning. You can say it in the evening as well, or in the afternoon. You can say it to your friends or to your family and to a person you don't know as well. So feel free to use it anytime you want. And our next phrase is dobry wieczór. Dobry wieczór means good evening, literally means good evening. For example, through the whole day you would say dzień dobry, but at the end of the day you will say dobry wieczór. Now, actually, a lot of people, it's very difficult to know when can you start saying that, when can you start saying dobry wieczór instead of dzień dobry. So a lot of people I know starts with like dzień dobry, they want to say dzień dobry, but they didn't notice it's already evening and they say like dzień dobry wieczór, which is the funny way of saying that. You can try it if you want. Dobranoc. Dobranoc means good night. So you would usually use it before going to bed, when you want to say bye to your family or to your friends and just you are sleepy, you will just say dobranoc. Dobranoc, it's one word, but it actually came from two different words. So like dobra, which means good, and noc, night. So it literally means good night, but it's one word right now. The next phrase is jak się nazywasz? Jak się nazywasz? Which means, what is your name? If you meet a new person, you can use it, but remember that this phrase will be better to use with people of the same age or people younger, because it literally means, what is your name, not what is your name, sir, or what is your name, ma'am. That's why it's not too good to use for like older people. It's better to use it for your friends, for people the same age, or for younger people, for children as well. So once again, jak się nazywasz? And the next one is nazywam się. So obviously if you ask jak się nazywasz, what is your name, you have to answer that, and that's nazywam się, which means my name is. For example, nazywam się Marzena. So the next phrase is miło mi ciebie poznać. Miło mi ciebie poznać, which means it's nice to meet you. So obviously when you meet a new person, you ask jak się nazywasz, and you answer nazywam się, like nazywam się Marzena, and then at the end you usually say like it's nice to meet you, and that would be miło mi ciebie poznać. So the next phrase is jak się masz? Jak się masz? Which means how are you? Now, the funny thing is that we don't really ask that a lot in Poland. I mean, we do, but not as often as you do it in English. So when you ask somebody jak się masz, how are you? Be careful, because this person can actually give you the real answer. The next phrase for today is dobrze, dziękuję. A ty? I'm fine, thanks. And you? Dobrze, dziękuję. A ty? I'm fine, thanks. And you? As I told you before, this may not be the answer that you will get. Some people will say so, but some people will just start talking about their problems, about their life, and instead of just getting I'm fine, thank you, and you will get the whole life story of this person and all the problems and everything related. Be careful when you ask this one. It's usually good to ask your friends, people you are closer to, with whom you really want to talk a lot, and then you will get an answer, longer answer. But of course, if you are asked and you don't want to talk about your life, you can just say, dobrze, dziękuję, a ty? Proszę. Please. Proszę. Proszę means please in English, and you can use it, for example, when you give somebody something. So like, proszę. Or when you ask somebody to do something, like, proszę, proszę, zrób to dla mnie. Please, 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 do it for me. So going to the next phrase, dziękuję. Dziękuję means thank you in Polish. Well, you can use it to basically anybody you want. When somebody passes you something, you can say, and saying proszę, you can say dziękuję. When somebody invites you inside, saying proszę, proszę, you can say dziękuję as well. When somebody offers you tea or coffee, you can say dziękuję. If you don't want it though, you can say nie dziękuję, which means no, thank you. Nie ma za co. Nie ma za co means you are welcome, but what it actually literally means is there is nothing to be thankful for. So we usually say dziękuję, and the other person would say nie ma za co. Next phrase we have here is tak. Tak means just yes. Whenever you want to say yes, and it's basically the same as in English. So, for example, when you want to use tak, if somebody asks you, do you want a tea or do you want something to drink? And you can say tak. Or you can say, actually adding please, tak, proszę. And when this person passes it to you, you can add dziękuję. The next phrase is nie. Nie means no. For example, if somebody offers you something to drink, if you want it, you can say yes, please, which would be tak, proszę, or tak, poproszę. But if you don't want it, you can say nie, or you can say nie, dziękuję, adding thanks to that. So, do you want something to drink? Nie, dziękuję. And next phrase is dobrze. Dobrze means okay. So, for example, when your friends asks you to go somewhere, or like, do you want to go grab something to eat together? And you can say tak, or you can say dobrze, let's go. Yeah, sure, okay, let's go. Or if they ask you if you want to go together for a trip, you can say yeah, sure, dobrze. Yeah, I want to go. The next phrase is przepraszam. Przepraszam has many different meanings. So it can mean excuse me, but it also can mean I'm sorry. So you would see a lot of Polish people mixing excuse me and I'm sorry in English because it's actually one word in Polish. So for example, when you stepped on somebody's leg, you can say przepraszam. When you did something wrong, you can say przepraszam. When you want to pass through like crowd of people, you can say przepraszam, przepraszam, and find your way out. If you did something wrong, you can say przepraszam as well. So it's actually a pretty useful one. So it means excuse me, but it means I'm sorry in the same time. Przepraszam. Przepraszam means I'm sorry. Actually, the next phrase is która jest godzina? Która jest godzina means what time is it? If you want to ask somebody, excuse me, what time is it now? You can say, przepraszam, która jest godzina? So let's go to the next one. Another very useful phrase. Gdzie jest toaleta? Gdzie jest toaleta? Which means, where's the toilet? So, gdzie means actually where. Jest means be or to be. And toaleta is toilet. So, gdzie jest toaleta means where's the toilet. So if you are in a shopping mall or in a restaurant and you want to ask, excuse me, where's the toilet? You will say, przepraszam, gdzie jest toaleta? The next phrase is poczekaj chwilkę. Poczekaj means to wait and chwilkę means a moment, and together it means wait a moment, please. When you see your friend going somewhere but you still want to talk to him or her, and you can just, call them and then say, poczekaj chwilkę. Ile to kosztuje? Ile to kosztuje means how much is this? When you go to a shop, you will say przepraszam, ile to kosztuje? So excuse me, how much is this? Przepraszam, ile to kosztuje? Czy mogę prosić o rachunek? Czy mogę prosić o rachunek? Can I get the check, please? So imagine you are sitting in a very nice Polish restaurant eating pierogi or any other wonderful Polish dish, and you've just finished and you just want to get your bill. So you would just call the waiter saying przepraszam, and then you will add czy mogę prosić o rachunek? And the next one for today is pomocy. Pomocy. This means help, and I hope you will not have to use this one anytime soon. But if you're ever in danger, if you ever are in a very dangerous situation, which I hope you will not be in Poland, you can use this one, saying pomocy. Do zobaczenia. Do zobaczenia means see you later. You can use it when you speak with your friends and with your family or with anyone basically, because it's not super formal, but it's not only reserved to your closest friends. So like for example, we started this one with cześć, which was hello, but it was bye as well. And this one you would use when you speak with your friends, you would say cześć. But then for everybody else, your friends included, you can say do zobaczenia, which means until we see each other again. Potrafię dobrze mówić po polsku. I can't speak Polish very well. Nie potrafię means I can't. Mówić means to speak, and then po polsku means in Polish. So nie potrafię mówić po polsku, it literally means I can't speak Polish very well, or I can't speak in Polish very well if you wanted a very literal translation. When you start learning the language and you are still not so good and you meet like people and you want to tell them that your Polish it's not so good or it's not super good yet, you can use this phrase. Nie potrafię dobrze mówić po polsku. 10 questions you should know in Polish. So let's start. Jak się nazywasz? What's your name? Jak się nazywasz? What is your name? So if you meet somebody and you ask this person, jak się nazywasz? You may hear an answer like, nazywam się Ania. My name is Ania. Ania is actually a pretty common name in Poland. Or nazywam się Marzena. My name is Marzena. Jak się masz? How are you? Jak się masz means how are you? And you may hear an answer like dobrze, which means good. But actually, probably more often you will hear a very, very long answer and it won't be good. Because in Poland, it is not so common to ask, jak się masz. You do ask that, but you ask that only, people you are very close friends with. And you kind of need to expect a longer answer and that people will actually tell you the truth about their life and what wrong happened in it. And it's usually wrong because Polish people love complaining. So be careful with this one. If you don't have time for a longer talk, just don't ask it. Skąd jesteś? Where are you from? Skąd jesteś? Where are you from? So you may hear this question if somebody notices that you are not from Poland. And for example, if you are from America, you can answer z Ameryki, from America. So basically you just put z and then the country. Kiedy masz urodziny? When is your birthday? And if you make new friends, you may hear a question like, kiedy masz urodziny? Which means, when is your birthday? And a good answer for that would be just giving, the month and day. You don't have to answer in a whole sentence. So you can say, for example, 8 lutego. 8 lutego, which is February 8th. This is actually my birthday. Gdzie mieszkasz? Where do you live? Another question you may hear is, gdzie mieszkasz? Gdzie mieszkasz? Gdzie mieszkasz means, where do you live? And when you can answer like in details, telling the street, saying the street and everything else, or you can just, say mieszkam w Krakowie, which means I live in Krakow. Gdzie pracujesz? Where do you work? Another question you may hear in Poland is gdzie pracujesz? Where do you work? And it can be about the place or it can be about the company. So, for example, if you don't want to say the company or you are reluctant, you just want to say, okay, I work in Krakow, you say pracuję w Krakowie. If you want to say the company, on the other hand, you can just say pracuję w and change Krakow, to the name of a company. Jaki jest twój numer telefonu? What's your phone number? If somebody likes you really much, then they may ask about your phone number, saying, jaki jest twój numer telefonu? What is your phone number? So you can answer that saying, mój numer telefonu to 693 408 896, which means my number is 693 408 896. Just notice that in Polish we usually break it into groups of 3, and we say not 693, we say 693, which is 693. Gdzie się nauczyłeś polskiego? Where did you learn Polish? Now, because studying Polish it's not so common and you don't actually learn it at school in a lot of countries, you may hear a question, gdzie nauczyłeś się polskiego? Where did you learn Polish? Well, you can answer, for example, w szkole językowej, which means in language school. Czy lubisz polskie jedzenie? Do you like Polish food? Another question you may hear as a foreigner is, of course, do you like Polish food? Which in Polish is, czy lubisz polskie jedzenie? Czy lubisz polskie jedzenie? You can answer whatever you want, if you like it. If you don't like it, don't feel, embarrassed and just say it straight, because people will just feed you with Polish food that you don't like. But if you like it, you can say uwielbiam, which means I love it. Kiedy przyjechałeś do Polski? When did you come to Poland? Now, once you come to Poland and you start living there, you will probably hear this one a lot. Kiedy przyjechałeś do Polski? When did you come to Poland? So, if it's for you 3 years, you can say przyjechałem do Polski 3 lata temu. I came to Poland 3 years ago.
Want to speak real Polish from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at polishpod101.com.
Top 10 most common tourist vocabulary. So are you ready? So our first word is bilet. It means ticket. So once again, bilet means a ticket. And for example, you can say poproszę bilet normalny. Poproszę bilet normalny. Normal ticket, please. So actually, normal ticket, it's a literal translation. We say in Poland, bilet normalny for an adult ticket. So, as opposed to the one for children, which we will say ulgowy. Ulgowy. Ulgowy means that there is some kind of ulga. So it means that there is some percent off the price. So you pay less. And bilet normalny is we just say normal ticket, but it means adult ticket, the very basic ticket, as opposed to the one for kids. Or to the one for elders, which they usually have a cheaper ticket as well. And depending on the city you go in Poland, sometimes you will buy just one ticket for the bus and you can go as many stops as you want. This is how it works in Warsaw. But also in Warsaw you can buy time-limited ticket, for example, a ticket for 75 minutes. And this means that you can go wherever you want for 75 minutes from the time you validate this ticket, but you can change the bus. So, for example, if you have to take the tram and then you bus and then you have to switch to metro or something, so you are basically taking 3 different cars, or 3 different transportation ways, then it's better for you maybe to get a 75 minutes ticket, so you can switch between those and don't pay additional price and you don't have to buy another ticket, which is a very convenient way. And what happens if you are stuck with this 75 minutes ticket in a traffic jam? Well, usually most of the vehicles like buses or trams, they will have a ticket machine inside of it. So you can buy another ticket if you are running late and then there is a big traffic jam and you didn't really count it in and now it's your 75 minutes is already over, then you can buy a new one at the bus. If there is no ticket machine, the best thing you can do is just get off at the next bus stop. So that's how it works in Warsaw, and other cities around the Poland is sometimes different. Sometimes you have one-time tickets, sometimes you have time limit tickets, sometimes you have a different type of ticket, so be sure to ask about it when you get to the city. Our next word is turysta, a tourist. Turysta means a tourist, so that probably will be you when you are going around and sightseeing in Poland. And for example, you can say dużo tutaj turystów. There is a lot of tourists here. Dużo tutaj turystów. So actually there is more and more tourists coming to Poland, to Warsaw, to Kraków, of course. But lately even cities like Wrocław, Opole, Poznań even, or Gdańsk are pretty much touristic. There is a lot of tourists coming. And they are very busy, especially during summer, especially Gdańsk, which is very close to the Baltic Sea. It's a super busy city during the summer. Plan podróży, itinerary. For example, you can say, to jest nasz plan podróży. To jest nasz plan podróży. This is our itinerary. And of course, it's good to make your plan podróży before you come to Poland. And I would advise you to stay for about a week or so to see as much as you can, because coming for a shorter period of time, like 3 days or 2 days, it can be okay, but you will probably not enjoy it so much. So at least, I would say at least 1 week, if not more, because Poland is a big country. And there is a lot of places you can travel to, you can travel around. I guess right now all the big major cities are pretty well connected with the train usually, or sometimes buses, and buses can be very cheap. So please check it out when you plan to go to Poland, if you can go by train, or maybe you should take a bus. Sometimes it's just a small difference and all the buses usually have Wi-Fi, so you can still watch something or just sit down and play or whatever, and enjoy your bus ride as well. Przewodnik, the guidebook. The same word can be used to refer to a guide or a mail guide. Przewodnik. And you can ask somebody, masz przewodnik? Masz przewodnik? Do you have a guidebook? Of course, it's important to buy one before coming to Poland, so you can know all the attractions that are waiting ahead for you. So to make your plan podróży, your itinerary, it's very important to have one. But also, when you are walking around, sometimes it's just very convenient to have something like that, to have your przewodnik, to check out for new restaurants or something that's around you. Of course, you can use internet, and there is Wi-Fi pretty much everywhere around in bigger cities, and that's sometimes more convenient, but sometimes just, easy to have your book, your guidebook. Our next word is autobus wycieczkowy, which means a tour bus. And lately it's been more and more popular to go around big cities like Warsaw or Krakow with a tour bus. So it's easy because you can just buy one ticket and you can go around. And in Warsaw, there is also one city bus that is dedicated for tourists. So, of course, everybody can take it. But the funny part is that it goes around Warsaw and it gets you to all those big tourist locations. So it goes from one tourist location to another. And of course, it's a normal city bus. And as I said, anybody can take it. But the funny part is that, it goes around all the main sites. So that's very, very convenient. And if you are taking a tour and you've got this tour bus, you can say, gdzie jest nasz autobus wycieczkowy? Gdzie jest nasz autobus wycieczkowy? Where is our tour bus? Gdzie jest nasz autobus wycieczkowy? Świątynia means a temple, and you will not find a lot of temples in Poland, like very close to zero, but sometimes we call a church a temple as well. So sometimes we actually refer to a church as świątynia or świątynia Boga, like the God's temple or something like that. And for example, you can say, zróbmy sobie zdjęcie przed świątynią. Zróbmy sobie zdjęcie przed świątynią. Let's take a picture in front of a temple. Another one, meczet, mosque. There are some places where we still have some. In my hometown, we used to have one. We don't have it anymore, but everybody knows where it used to be, so everybody refers to that place, this place where a meczet was, where a mosque was. And in a sentence, you can use this word like this. Ten meczet jest bardzo stary. Ten meczet jest bardzo stary. This mosque is very old. The next word is super important in Poland, and it's kościół, church. Basically, if you are going around Poland, very, very possible that you will be going or sightseeing around all those churches. So all around kościół, kościół, kościół. And for example, you can say, ten kościół został zbudowany w średniowieczu. Ten kościół został zbudowany w średniowieczu. This church was built in the Middle Ages. Ten kościół został zbudowany w średniowieczu. Yes, we do have a lot of kościół or a lot of churches in Poland. For example, in my hometown, Opole, we do have around four, I guess 1, 2, 3, maybe three, around three in just the city, the main part, the main city square in the city center. So it's like maybe 2 minutes from one church to another, and they're all different. So it's very nice for sightseeing or going around, but it's like literally maybe 2-3 minutes between one and the other. And when they have on Sunday, you can hear the bells ringing in one church and another one, and 5 minutes later another one. So it's very funny. And yeah, we have a lot of churches in Poland, basically. Some of them very beautiful, so please check it out. Our next word is wodospad. Wodospad means waterfall, and basically the word itself is built like in English, so water is falling, and in Poland is wodospad. Spad, like go down, from spadać, and wodo from woda, from water, so the water is falling, wodospad. And for example, you can say, podobno tam jest duży wodospad. Podobno tam jest duży wodospad. There is supposed to be a big waterfall out there. Podobno tam jest duży wodospad. Well, we don't really have a lot of waterfalls in Poland. I guess if you go to the mountains, you will see like a small river and something like a waterfall, which can look beautiful. But I guess we have more lakes maybe, which are even more beautiful. So please be sure to check out Polish nature, because it's amazing. Our next word is a lot of fun, and it's wycieczka. Wycieczka means a tour, and if you find a nice wycieczka in an offer, maybe you can say pojedziemy na tę wycieczkę. Pojedziemy na tę wycieczkę. Are we going for this tour? And of course you can go by yourself and go around and do sightseeing by yourself, but it's also very nice to get a tour, a guided tour, especially if you go around Krakow, like you go to Auschwitz or you go to Wieliczka. And I think it's very important to get guided tour there because first of all, it's very difficult to get there, and second of all, it's nice to go there with somebody who can tell you a little bit more about the place than just see the place.
Want to finally start speaking in your target language? In this guide, you'll discover the top 7 ways to practice speaking on your own with our lessons. Let's begin. Number 1, shadowing. Shadowing is a proven learning technique where all you do is repeat what you hear in order to practice speaking. So access any audio or video lesson on the site and press the play button to start. Then, as you listen or watch, just repeat the conversations. Or, even easier, read along out loud with the dialogue section. The script is right there in front of you. With our lessons, you can master entire conversations, just like that. Number 2, read out loud. I just mentioned it, but reading out loud is another powerful tactic and deserves its own mention. With every lesson, you get written transcripts and translations. So, as you play the lesson, read the dialogue out loud as you hear it. Why? By reading out loud, you're also practicing your speaking skills. You can do this with the lesson notes, the lesson transcript, or the dialogue tool. With the dialogue tool, you can listen to each line again and again, and repeat out loud until you master them all. Number 3, speed up your reading to speed up your speaking. Being able to speak without thinking is a sign of language mastery. If you're talking to a native and can respond quickly, they'll assume that you're fairly fluent. How can you do this? When you read out loud, try increasing your speed a little bit every time. So, start by reading with the dialogue tool. If you're like most learners, you'll read the first line slowly. That's because you're still getting used to the words, which is okay. Reread it. On your second try, you know most of the words, and you'll read a little faster. Reread it again. On your third try, you'll be even faster, at a native speaker's speed. And being able to read these phrases out loud and fast will help you speak fast. Number 4, record and compare yourself with native speakers. In order to sound like a native speaker, you must imitate native speakers. So here's how. Access the voice recorder, which is in the dialogue study tool in every lesson. Click on the microphone icon. Listen to the native speaker's audio, and then record yourself. You can then compare the 2 recordings side by side, and practice and try again and again until you perfect your pronunciation. Number 5, get feedback from our Premium Plus teacher. If you're learning by yourself and don't have access to real teachers, then you can always get feedback from our Premium Plus teachers. With the My Teacher tool, you can record yourself speaking and send the audio file to the teacher. They'll review it and tell you what to improve and how. That's it. Number 6, level up your speaking with Premium Plus assignments. With Premium Plus, you can also get assignments that cover reading, writing, listening, and even speaking from your teacher. These assignments can be tailored to your goals and needs. You get a new one every week, or anytime you're ready for a new one. Number 7, get even more lessons in the lesson library. If you want even more lessons on speaking and conversations, visit our lesson library and under Category, choose Conversation. You'll get all of the pathways and lessons that are focused on speaking. Want to speed up your language learning? Take your very first lesson with us. You'll start speaking in minutes and master real conversations. Sign up for your free lifetime account. Just click the link in the description.